Good morning, evening, or night, and welcome to the Jules conversation. Today, joining me is a good friend of mine, J.S.T.E.W.
Yep. Um, what's up, everyone? Um, I'm a freshman, Loyola University. I study music industry studies and currently doing music, producing, recording, you name it. I try to engineer everything. So it's still a learning process. So I'm glad to be here with my friend Jules.
Glad
It's
to
an
have you.
honor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really glad to have you. Also joining us is Torsi once again.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Yep.
That's our audio manager. That.
Yeah,
Awesome. I'm just gonna go straight into it.
it's all good, man. Ask me anything.
Why music industry?
Uh, Music just been pretty much my entire life. Um, Man, like it's so hard to like explain it to other people about like what really is music because music can be honestly anything. It can literally just be me tapping on a door and I can freestyle or me singing out of tune, but it's still kind of like easy to hear. Uh I think I picked music industry studies because I want to really get deep into the music business, showcase everyone who I am, not only as an artist, but in general as a chill ass person who can make some really dope music that can also be meaningful for anyone. Music saved my life. It saved multiple people's lives, but it also helps me with everyday things such as like work, studying, or just doing anything in general. So, when I first started music, probably, I would probably say around three or four. Here, like going to church, as a black kid, you hear, all the choirs and gospels singing in harmony and sounds like angelic type stuff. And when you hear that stuff, it kind of like motivates you to like, dang, I want to do this. So when I was little, I did choir, around 5 or 6 or so, and I pretty much done choir pretty much my entire life. But I started exploring more into like hip hop and rap at an early age too. Like when I was growing up, all I heard from the radio was like pretty much southern rap, like T.I., UGK, Outkast, Kanye West, singers like Rihanna, Lauryn Hill, Sade. Like it was just a whole lot of variety in musicians. Um, and while growing up, my mom had MTV on, and that was pretty much where everything pretty much started. I was like, I want to do that,
Yes, sir.
but I also want to do this. At the same time, seeing Kanye West, stronger music video, Outkast, Hey Y'all music video, that stuff, that stuff was like I couldn't even comprehend it at an early age, but it was like something that like I want to do in the future for some reason. I just had like this feeling like this is what I want to do. And I think that's who I also became as a person right now. Is I'm still inspired by these artists who just release music, almost every year to this day, and they help me become better and better and better, and my creativity and inspirations get greater as the road goes along. So that's why I picked music industry studies.
No, that was okay. You said something that I really liked, which
Yeah.
was in quotes, as an artist. What does that mean to you?
Um, as an artist, I feel like when I say as an artist, I feel like I'm in a creative hole, like nothing else. When I create, um, there can be people in the studio, there can be people who tell me they want certain things and all that. That's fine. But for me, when I'm as an artist, I feel like I'm in my own world. Like I feel like there's just nothing else, just like blank space, just you, just in the moment, just working, you know, you trying to figure out that certain sound that you want. Make music that like that you want to make. It don't matter if someone likes it or hates it. Just keep doing what you want to do. If you want to make trap music, make good trap music. If you want to make R&B music that sounds really good with a lot of harmonies and vocals, make that. If you want to, be a top tier lyricist and have some boom bap sounds in there that makes you feel like you're in New York, then do that. I think when you're an artist, I feel like you can be creative in a lot of ways, that a lot of people ain't really expect from an artist. Same thing as like a magician, like Houdini. He will pull off tricks that would just be like, oh wow, like we never seen this before. That's what I think of me as an artist or any artist right now, is we try to pull some out of the hat that is similar or can be different, and people can still be like with the same reaction, like whoa, like this is something new, or like this is pretty cool. That's how I define it.
No, I feel that. I feel that. So you had mentioned that because you have all these different fields earlier, you had said that you're really into like sound engineering. Do you feel like your artistic voice comes out in that too?
uh to be honest, I just kind of like started like mixing and a little bit of mastering too. I feel like, because I'll be watching my favorite producers like Kenny Beats when he does like the K freestyles and stuff. That was when I like, that's when I was like, I want to produce. I got Logic, some other softwares, and it took a while. You had to get like other things to like Splice and other stuff that you can't physically create, but you can like sample and use other sounds to make what you want. That brings it out on the table. You know, I be watching like Mike Dean videos too, cause
What's that?
he used Pro Tools. Mike Dean is probably top five. Like right now, he's basically a living legend for doing mixing and mastering to any artist's music. He uses Pro Tools, and he pretty much uses the basic plugins, which a lot of people are like, why do you use basic plugins? You're basically a millionaire. And he's like, sometimes simple is better. And a lot of people, can critique anyone saying, well, simple ain't good, do something different, do something more experimental. Well, I mean, not everyone's gonna like experimental or crazy stuff that goes on all at the same time. Sometimes when people love simple stuff, they keep on liking to like play it back and everything. But yeah, I think I just got into engineering. I mean, I'm going to be in urban production next year, so I can learn more of that. Hopefully, but me right now, I'm just an artist. I'm just doing what's best for me, in general. I'm working with like crazy talented people right now, who are like giving me like the opportunity because they want this opportunity too. It's a business, we can have friends and stuff like that, but it's a business at first. So when you work at it as a business, you're going to have fun with it in the meanwhile, you know. It's fun, like you witness like the process of like when you first start out, like what style you want, and then the recording, and then the mixing, and then the mastering, and then after that, then it's like, okay, like you're gonna upload it. So I think that's what's so fun about it. It's like the evolution, the process of like what it takes to be an artist in general. Even our favorite like musicians did not release like good music when they first like came out. Like I mean for some people it's good, but like it's not to the standards where they at right now, because they had to like grind, they had to like work 24/7 just to get that opportunity, a chance.
So let me ask you this. You had mentioned it's a business.
Yeah.
So as a black male rapper,
Yeah.
would you call yourself a rapper?
Yeah, pretty much.
As a black male rapper, do you feel pressure in this business?
No,
No.
not at all, because I'll say this. Pressure, I'll say this. there's always that concept where it's like when you're nervous, but you can also get excited. Those are the two things that come together at the same time when you're nervous and excited because you don't know like how that body like really feels or like anybody feels. So it's like you go out and it's like you do your thing, you know. Because I'll say this though. I mean, I was nervous when I first came here, but like recording and stuff like that, you know, freestyling for other people, it's like you just forget about everything. You just do you, and you try to act like you're getting ready to get signed. You're getting ready to like showcase like your talent to everyone else, and you're like, okay, like I'm ready to kill this. Like let me do my thing, but you kind of feel pressure, you know, because I mean when I performed at Tiburtina's, you know, not too long ago, you know, the first thing we all had to do, because I'm in hip hop ensemble, the first thing we had to do was literally practice how to perform. It wasn't, you know, do this song this way or, you know, do this that way. You know, it was basically choreography and a vibe. Those are the only two steps that you really need to get the crowd going. So, you know, when it took all of us to practice, do some choreography and stuff, you know, we were ready, man. Like, we didn't care how many people there were. It was packed up in there. But that really wasn't, you know, that really wasn't how like we all imagined at first. But then we saw the crowd packed and it was like, okay, like we're gonna go ahead and kill it. So, you know, it was hot up on stage, you know, not really no air conditioner. It was packed, but I had a great time, man. Crowd loved my energy. They loved Tierra's energy. You know, it was fun in general. Um, you couldn't really hear the crowd because you could only hear the music mostly. I mean, you could hear the crowd, but it was like you didn't really focus on the crowd. It was just like you just separated, and it's like, okay, like I know what I'm gonna do at that moment. And I really had a great time, you know, for basically the next 3 years or however more. I'm gonna keep performing, even just not at Tiburtina's. You know, I want to do like Junkyard Jam, local places, local venues. You know, show people that you know I have it, that it factor. So that's what I think it is. You know.
I get you. Let me take you back.
Yeah.
You're 7 years old.
Yeah.
What are you bumping?
Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, when you're just a kid in the back seat or whatever, pretty much at that time was Kanye was just taking over, man. He was just it was ridiculous. Like even when I was little, everyone was just talking about him. They didn't talk about nobody else. Like you know, around that time, you know, the Taylor Swift controversy, that was that was crazy, man. Like he had to go to Hawaii just to record. You know, he couldn't stand it no more. But to him to make a comeback and probably make like one of the greatest albums of all time, it goes show you that like anyone can do it. But nah, back then probably Rihanna, Usher, Chris Brown, Kanye, because the radio that my mom and I had, it was we didn't really care what channel it was gonna put on. So there was also gospel stuff, Christian music, even pop music. You know, MIA was really popular at that time. She was really like blowing up. Um, that was pretty much it. Southern rap. Scarface came in a bunch of times. Outkast, Kanye, T.I. was really popping. Um, that was pretty much it. Um, yeah, that was yeah because like a lot of people don't like change over the years, but I think changing with music, especially like throughout the years, has done music like a greater good than anything else, in my opinion. So that's pretty much what I listened to at 7 years old. It wasn't like it was mostly just a beat. It really, I mean, there was some lyrics that like I memorized, but it was mainly just the beat, you know, because you know, 7 years old, you can't comprehend everything.
No, I feel that, and I'm really glad you brought up Kanye because
Yeah,
like whenever I think of Seven, I'm like, oh, that's 808's year. Like I remember
yeah,
hearing RoboCop,
yeah.
amazing on the
I
radio.
know it was crazy. Like Heartless was just a jam. Like you didn't even know like it was a sad song. You know, you would just sing the chorus and you would just vibe and jam. You know, it was a vibe.
It was. How do you feel about mumble rap?
Uh, well, I got asked about this. Like, it was the last question from the last podcast interview with Cesar.
Cesar ripped off my podcast. I know you listening to this, Cesar. You ripped off my podcast. Keep going. Keep going.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't care. I mean, we all went through that phase where we all thought, and I'm not trying to diss any Eminem stands. Please don't
Oh
kill
no.
me, please. But we all literally thought at a young age, we all thought Eminem was the greatest rapper of all time when he did Rap God.
I can I can very comfortably say I have never once considered Eminem the greatest rapper.
Oh
No, but
man.
no, I see what you're saying. Keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not saying this as a diss, you know. He's one of the greatest rappers of all time. We just thought he was the greatest, you know. But when mumble rap came into play, you know, it was mainly aimed at like trap artists, like Future, Young Thug. And the problem that I have with people who say mumble rap is not cool is you're basically just saying like they don't have talent, they don't have none. Like I'm telling you, people who have talent without really like saying like full comprehensive words, like they're actually like the geniuses in the business because you can literally just put a hard beat and maybe a dope chorus, and then when it comes to verses, people may not remember it, but they can remember that that song is like 5 times platinum. That song went on the Billboard Top 200. That song went on number 5. So I mean it. I mean it lost its cool, but it's still kind of like going strong in a weird way. It's so weird because like I wouldn't even call it mumble rap. I would just call it like I don't know, like different words of music that people can just jam out to, you know. Because in my opinion, I don't think I mean people do care about lyrics, but it's not as serious as it used to be. You know, with a subject, you know, with a certain subject, you know, that's related to the topic. It's more just on like how good the beat is. That's literally it.
I feel you. I
Yeah,
feel you. My mic is cutting in and out, but it's cool.
it's good.
We're rolling with it.
Yeah.
The first day I met you, you had taken me up to your room at the time.
Oh
Might
yeah.
still be your room.
Yeah.
And you showed me your vinyl collection.
Yeah.
And
It's bigger now. It's gotten out of hand. I think now I got at least to close to 70 records now.
what?
Are
You
they
got
all
like
Yeah.
like are they all in your
All
dorm?
vinyl and I play them.
Wow, that's all, like are they all in your dorm? Do you keep them here?
Yes, I keep them
That's
in my room.
awesome.
I don't unless I show someone my record collection. The first thing is like, whoa, this is like big. Um, it's pretty much either modern music, classic albums, or sample based stuff that I got cheap for like $2 or $1. I just got finally I just got my favorite rapper of all time, Earl Sweatshirt, some rap songs.
okay. Yeah, I was about to say
Um
good answer.
yeah, man, like I can go on about that album. That album probably no I'm not even lying. That album probably saved my life in general. Um because, you know, during that time, you know, Earl's father passed away. He was going through a lot of stuff, you know, but I think what was so crazy about that album is like its influence, especially for like underground artists now. Like that album like made, well, me personally, I think it made like sampling cool again. Like cool. Like to have dark samples and, you know, change its pitch and tune, and, you know, you can make glitch effects and all that type of stuff and rap over it, you know, have a muddy water sound effect. Like that's what made it my personal like top 5 album of all time. Like it just like I can't even explain it, like the way he made the album, and it feels so short, but the time is around what, like 25 minutes.
Yeah, it's like
That's how short each of the tracks are, but it feels longer, you know, because he's telling a story, and I felt like it was like really really cool. I have Miles Davis, Bitches Brew. um Classic jazz record. I think personally that's his greatest album of all time. It's either that or Blue, the Blue album. I have like Blue and Oh No, Kendrick Lamar. Let's see, Kanye, of course. Um, Pretty much. Let's see. Trying to think more. I just have a lot that I usually just kept on repeating and stuff like that. Prince,
I remember
Michael
your Prince.
Jackson.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, you do. Yeah, you got Prince.
Yeah, Michael Jackson, especially Off the Wall and Thriller, two of the greatest albums, in my opinion, ever.
Wait, hold up, pause. What's your favorite Michael Jackson song? This is important.
Ooh, all right. This may be an understatement, but can we go for like, okay, you know what? I'll just say it. Pretty much, probably Michael Jackson, Off the Wall, the title track of the album, because there's so much things going on the production, and what was so crazy was, in my opinion, Michael was really at his prime for like hidden notes and vocals. When he made harmonies, you didn't even know it was a harmony. You just thought it was just like some sounding effect. But when you go into like the credits and stuff, he actually made like harmonies and stuff, which I thought was really dope. And what was so crazy was, you know, he was like a power tenor who like could hit like girl notes, like he can go like deep, like his voice has so much range and stuff. That's why I consider him to be like one of the greatest singers of all time, because he could literally do anything, like just harmonies, vocal range wise, just like humming, like everything, and it was just soothing, you know. Let's see, pretty much the whole Thriller album. Like Human Nature is a vibe.
You can't go wrong with
You
Human
can't
Nature.
go wrong with that. It was just a vibe. Lady in My Life, emotional song. Yeah. Then his other albums, I feel like his other albums are like really underrated in general. Like Dangerous, like that album is a bop. If it had more like commercial success, it would have been like one of his top 5. But like, you know, music business and all the shenanigans and stuff, it didn't really, I mean, it did great, but he wanted it to like outsold like Thriller like twice as that. Man, Dangerous was just a vibe. And then, you know, he had history, past, present, and future. He had like 19 new tracks. Great album.
History is one of the greatest albums he ever released. I just want to put that on record.
That's a fact. Yeah. That's a fact. And then Invincible, I think that's his most underrated album, because now people like on TikTok and stuff, they're just finding out like certain songs of his that are like, wait a sec, this is actually a good vibe, you know. Like people are playing like Heaven Can Wait. That is my joint. That has always been my joint. You Rock My World. Butterflies is actually off of another singer song named Floetry. She actually made that song as a demo, and somehow Michael got word of the song. He was like, "Can I cover it?" She said, "Yeah, sure." So he covered it. Great track. 2000 watts is just emotional, a vibe. Pretty much the whole album is great. I just consider Michael's like one of the greatest artists of all time, just in general. Yep.
Wow. I'm glad that you did that because that brings me to where I wanted to really have this talk with you.
Yeah.
Good Kid, Mad City.
Oh man, I have it as my vinyl. Uh, One of the greatest rap albums of all time, personally. Uh, Me personally, probably top 30 around there. I mean, just storytelling, basically a good kid living in a mad city in Compton, one of the most dangerous, cities, and not only in Los Angeles, but in the country of United States. Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe was just like, I remember when that first came on the radio, that's how I first got to know him, was that song. And then, like all of a sudden, like it was like all of a sudden he just blew up. I was seeing him like on TV getting interviews, and then he was on like Jimmy Fallon, like it was crazy. Like Money Trees, um one of my friends, CJ, he covered it with Piper. um
Shout out CJ.
yeah, shout out to him. He makes dope music. Y'all go check him out. Like that song will always be a vibe. It don't matter if it's covers, sing, rap only. Like that's just a vibe. It's storytelling. The concept was simple, but it came out like as one of the greatest. And then after that, then it was like, what's next? Because he had Section 80, which was a good album. Then a classic. Okay, what can he pull off next? And then, in my opinion, this is like the greatest rap album of all time. Me personally, To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah.
To Pimp a Butterfly. Man, when that album came out, like I didn't even know like what to think of it when I first heard the whole thing. As soon as I first heard the whole thing, I was like, I'm getting this. Got the vinyl, and like a couple of years ago, I still have it. Still plays good. Like I think it. I think it mainly just speaks on like blacks in America in general. Like we're all like we're all like somehow in some shape, way, or form, we're all like a butterfly, because when we all be born, right, we're like a caterpillar. We're just starting to grow. We're trying to be in our habitat and stuff like that. Then we be in a shell, which means that sometimes when we be in our shells, that means like we can't go outside because of like police brutality, racism, and stuff like that. And then we be in a cocoon, which means it gets worse, because it doesn't matter if you're just going for a walk. It doesn't matter if you're just like doing anything in general. you know there's always going to be some type of law enforcement that gets in your way, whether it's good or in a bad way. And mostly, sadly, from our race and our perspective, that happens in a very, very terrible way. And we, um, then we break out of our shell. We try to fight back. We be like, "This is wrong. We have our own rights. Why can't we just be like, you know, the human race? Why can't we just be like, you know, you ain't doing this to this person, but you doing this to me. Why me?" It's always that question, why, but we don't get no answer. But once we get the answer, it ain't truly the why, it's just when. Because they'll say, well, we'll do this, we'll sign some laws, and no. But it really never comes into full effect. So then that's when we try to be proud of ourselves. We try to be proud of our ancestors, our generation, and be like, we're flying. We're still gonna fly high. It don't matter if we like fall down. We're still gonna like fly high. Just be ourselves. That's what creativity is, man. It's a beautiful thing in general.
Oh, I feel that.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. No, I feel that.
Yeah. It's just like that album, it probably made me more conscious about everything what's going on around the world. It I would say that album probably turned me into the person that I am, like, to this day, in general. Like, when I speak on anything in general, it's like consciousness. You know, what how did history brought us here? How does history keep on repeating itself? And how do we stop letting it repeat itself so we can keep on moving forward? You know, that album really changed me, man. Like, Complexion, Rhapsody did her thing on that verse. Wesley, aka Theory, man, Mama, that was a great track. In my opinion, that's an underrated track. A lot of people don't like that track. I like that track personally. And then I'm not gonna lie, I cry every time when I hear that song, because You is such like an emotional track where, when he was singing the lines, I preach basically to hundreds and thousands of people, but I couldn't preach to my own because I failed, like, simply. And I think what he was basically trying to say, and I think that's the most important track on the album, because what he was basically saying is that you can help other people, but you couldn't help your own. And it's like a guilt that will forever like overshadow you as a person. It's like this guilt that like closes in your heart, and then your heart turns from, red to dark red, then it turns dark red to black, and then you start feeling, some type of sickness towards yourself, because it's like, how what could I have done to make things better? But you trying to figure out how to move on, but you making yourself harm way worse than ever before. From the drinking to the drug use and all that type of stuff. I never did it, just so y'all know. But it's relatable to anyone that goes through anything. It don't matter if you did something like really, really terrible to yourself. It's just you have to fight through it. You have to power it, in some way, shape, or form. And, we all went through that time where we all felt guilty of something, where when we feel really guilty about it, we either don't know how to react to it, or we react to it in a very, very fast way, but it doesn't help solve the problem. So I think that's what the whole album To Pimp a Butterfly is. It's basically, Black power, Black reparations. How do we fix ourselves as a formula, as a group, as people, in a country where it basically colonized a lot of other nations and countries that basically took over and took our ancestors' lands, property, raped and beaten wives, children, all that type of stuff, and basically made it to their own, especially with their sickness and diseases and all that type of stuff, which is still in effect to blacks to this day. You just had to keep on moving forward with it. You just gotta figure out how to change. Change is really important, because we can't really change ourselves, but we can change others. That's how I think of it. When you can't change within yourself, but you want to change, like how does this country act? How does everything be going on and everything like that? Because I feel like the pandemic, when it happened, it it probably changed like a lot of people in a negative way. Like like just me personally, like I can be sociable with people anytime, but a lot of people when you like see them just in general, they don't they don't even want to like come across to like talking to people. I also think it's like an American problem in general as well. Like we always have this fear of, like talking to strangers because we're so busy with our day-to-day lives, you know, we're so used to our phones, you know. I mean, I went without a phone for nearly 2 years and I felt like, you know, I was like kind of like more happy in a way. I mean, I'm still happy, but it's like, you know, when you see things on social media like every single day and it's constantly up there, it's like, you know, you really get sick and tired of it. But some people they really get addicted to it, you know. It's really bad for them, you know. Just got to spread the awareness. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm there. It is. No. There's so much to comment on what you just said.
Yeah.
Okay. Doris, do you have anything?
I'm sorry.
No,
No.
don't be.
Okay.
Don't be.
Okay.
Don't be. Speak your truth, man.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I just think the whole social media thing is interesting because there's so much that's like long-term effects that we're not going to know because it's like
Right.
so new and there's so many like human responses to like the amount of content that you're consuming at any given time.
Right.
It's
Right.
crazy. Like it's hard not to compare to
It,
like social media, which is obviously not reality.
it is. It's not reality. Because people are trying to get social media more into reality at a standpoint, which is not the case because reality is different from our perspective. I mean, Photoshop, for example, like we can't believe everything. You know, it's like magic. You can't believe everything unless you see behind the scenes of it. I also believe that, like, you know, um, I think social media can also be good in a useful and non harmful way. But the problem is, it's always going to be overshadowed by like the negative things, like the news, you know, the stuff that be going around, gossiping, drama, you know. That's what feeds off into the money, you know. It's all about money. That's what it is, you know. I mean, we're in a system where it's just basically greedy people in general. So, you know, we have to figure out again, how do we change? Because change will always be the key to everything, you know. I always love the word change because I used to be like a dictionary nerd head back in like school. I still I still read in general. I used to go in the dictionary a lot, but change has always been that word where people don't really like it, but to me I like the word because it can mean anything in general in a positive or a negative way. So I think, you know, when we have to change the way we live, the way we talk, the way we eat, the way we do anything, a routine or some change can be positive. I think change should be more in a positive way too. You know, like like a lot of people go through a lot of things and they can be miserable, but but they don't know how to change it. So how do we do that? Well, number one, you got to change within yourself. Not what you do or like within like or how you interact, but like you got to figure out like, okay, how do I change this? How do I change that? And you keep on working on it. You don't have to finish. You don't have to finish in like a week. You have to work on it slowly. You know, because us as humans, you know, we have to work on things. In my opinion, I feel like we should work on things more slowly. So then that way we can have a greater satisfaction of what we're doing. That's what changes. You have to work on it slowly, or if you try to get it done fast, it's not gonna work in general. So that's why change is important.
In your life, what has been like the man in your life? What has been like the worst like example of change that you've seen?
Oh man, because I don't want no one to get emotional or whatever.
I mean, obviously you don't have to answer if it's
Nah. I'm gonna go ahead because a lot of people probably dealt with this in the world. It's probably rare, but you know, my mom went blind when I was around. I'm trying to think. It's been so long, man. I would say it's so long. Like you know, life be moving fast and stuff. You know, I would say probably I want to guess like 2015, 2016.
mm,
It basically happened. What sucks is that it happened before the new year. So basically, it was December 31st. That's when it happened, and then January 1st. Um, I'm not gonna really go into detail how it happened. Um, but that like I felt like I could have done so many things in a way where I was like I should have done this, I should have done that, I should have, you know, maybe I should have done this, you know, maybe I should have helped her, you know. But sometimes, you know, I always believe in God no matter what. No matter what he does, he has weird ways that makes things work in your way or anyone else's way. And I felt like he I felt like he did that not because he wasn't mad at her or wasn't mad at me. It was because maybe he was trying to tell her something and to try to avoid other things that could have possibly ended worse for her. He had to do something that was probably the least, most probably the least dangerous at possible. You know, I think it really changed me as a person because I used to be like really, really happy. Sometimes I'd be going around campus and I don't really smile that much. You know, I'm not saying it traumatized me. You know, I mean, I go back home. It's like she can still see. But what really upset me at that time was, you know, when I was graduating, she was at my graduation, but the worst part was she couldn't see me graduating. She was there, but she couldn't physically see me. Um, I think that like changed me more as a person. I think I grew too mature at a time, and I felt like childhood was just ripped. You know, I felt like I was just sad. I didn't feel like class. I didn't feel like nothing. I just felt like I didn't even enjoy music. I didn't even feel like doing anything. I just felt like sitting in my room and just sleep, 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 sleep. Because I kept on thinking this is just a dream. But then the next day I wake up, her sight still lost. So, you know, I had you know, and she was crying into, I was crying into, but I don't know. Just one day, I was like, you know what? I can't keep living on like this. Even at a young age, I was like, I'ma have the better end of the stick. I mean, the worser end of the stick if I don't change my ways and help her. So the first thing we probably had to do was how in the world can she get around? We trained that. Me personally, I helped her the most. Um, how to like move around, stick or without the stick. I say the only thing she could automatically do, the first thing when she lost her sight was probably still do like laundry because that was easy, you know, washer, dry, put the stuff in. But I would probably say the most difficult was probably like getting around the house in general, like nowhere like location. So I had to like, so she had to figure out how to memorize locations up in the house, which is a good thing because she already technically memorized them, but she had like trouble, you know, like okay, if I want to go to the counter, if I want to go to the couch, okay, this is the couch. I would like help her like plant like a rug so that way she won't have to like trip or fell, so she can go like on the side or something like that. I still love her, and people love your mom or your parents or, who still help you and everything.
Your guardian.
Your guardian, it don't matter what happened to them, you still got to treat them with respect. I think even though that tragedy matured me a lot, I think in some way it gave me more opportunities. It's such a weird way. And I'm not saying a bad thing can lead you into a greater thing. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that sometimes God's blessings does a weird, strange way. When something happens, it's like a motivation. So you keep striving and striving and striving, and then you're comfortable. So right now I'm comfortable. I still talk to her when she checks up on me or I check up on her, and it's like it's the same thing. It wasn't the same thing a couple of years ago. That was tough, but you just gotta fight it. So, if anyone's like going through anything, or something bad happens to like your family and stuff, it's gonna take forever, but you just gotta fight it, man, and gotta keep on moving forward, because that's what life is. Just moving forward until one day we're all gonna be gone. That's all it is.
Moving forward till we can't no more.
Right.
I can't tell if it's my headphones or if it's my mic at this point. Can y'all tell? Do I sound solid through y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound fine.
I sound fine. You sound fine.
It's okay. Then it's definitely just my headphones, and that's so funny.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. On a more upbeat note.
Yeah.
You ever been in love before?
That is a good.
I mean, with another person.
That's a good.
Yeah.
Man. I'll say this.
Uh-oh. You got that smile.
I'm not gonna say her name. That was probably the first time I really fell in love with this person. What sucks was it didn't go in a good way. This happened during fall semester, and of course I asked her out. I was nervous as heck, which I think was the wrong thing. I should have had more confidence in me. I feel more confident in spring than fall. She think it was all sweet and everything, but I basically got rejected. It was tough, but it was just like nothing, I mean, I had to get through it like a couple of days, but like I didn't really like let that affect me in my life. But other than that, not really. I mean, I got put on the Loino crush thing.
Uh-oh.
And I thought my friends were trolling because they love to mess with me or whatever.
That was me.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I'm a chill dude. I make music. That's who I am. I'm a nice dude. I am, and I treat women, with respect and everything like that, because I think that's just the right way to do,
Yeah.
But I mean, school in general, like in high school, middle school, nah, I just only focus on grades. And I still do focus on grades and music of this course. So
you just added yourself, man.
I think I mean, I have enough time now, if someone truly likes me, then, you got to come up to me, because I mean, I can be shy too, but it'll be a couple of days, but then it's just like we know each other. If you get to know me, I get to know you.
I get you.
Yep.
Yeah, have you ever been in love before? You're technically our other guest.
Yeah.
What are you in your phone?
I'm looking at Loino crushes because I haven't checked it in a couple days and I got curious. I forgot it existed.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
I don't even follow it.
I
It
don't
just
either. It's like a guilty pleasure.
it just right. It just I just somehow just got my name on there, and I'm just like, okay, like I just came into like one of my friends' rooms, and I was like, "Did you do this?" He was like, "Surprisingly, no," and I was like, "Really?" Because then I asked my other friends, they were like, "No." So I mean, it could possibly be someone that I see usually every day on campus, or see every now and then, or who just sees me on campus and thinks like I'm a handsome dude.
So yeah, you're a handsome dude. You're well respected. Your music's good. I listen to shoot, what is not off the wall? It's your song that
Off your
you
chest.
off your chest. Yeah.
I don't even count that in my discography. I don't even count that as my debut. I didn't even try, to be honest, but somehow it is like Danny's most played song, which I disagree. I think there are other tracks that are great, in my opinion, that should have at least 1,000 plays, but that's just me though. Danny's coming out with more music. I'm coming out with music. It's gonna be on Spotify soon. That's gonna be my debut. I can't let y'all no more because business discretions. But man, like I'm really excited. I think it's the style that I've always been, you know, I used to listen to and then mash it up, and then, still inspires me. So just gotta finish it.
And for us to find this mystery, what the heck just happened? For us to find this mystery album, are we gonna look up J.S.T.E.W on Spotify?
It's not a mystery album, it's a single. I'm not ready for an album, man. I'm gonna be honest.
I get you.
I mean, I'm ready for an EP. I'm ready for singles, but an album, that's gonna take a while. Because I want to make like smart business decisions. I want people to really know me as that guy. You keep making cool music. Okay, I want an album from him. If multiple people say they want an album from me, then I'll do an album. But that's gonna take more time because I like to think of like good concepts and subject matter and all that type of stuff. So, you know, it's gonna be great. It's really gonna be good. The single. So y'all better watch out for that.
Oh,
Yeah. I'll tell y'all the details really really soon on my Instagram. Whatever.
shout out your Instagram.
Yeah.
No, because for the people who don't follow you here, who might want to hear your music,
Yeah.
where can they find you?
Just search up because it's my artist name is J.S.T.E.W, but there's okay, so J.S.T.E.W and then W. Just search that up. That's me. Uh, I'll tell you the origin of how that came up. It is really short, but basically, someone in middle school basically just shortened my name and just put it together, and somehow it just got popular over the years, especially in senior year of high school. That's where everyone just called me. Like, honestly, I feel like honored to just be called that like every day, because it's almost like, because most people would think like the nickname thing would just just be like out of it, like, okay, like this is so boring, let's just start calling you. But nah, people ain't tired of it. They ain't tired of hearing J.S.T.E.W. And that's the same thing with my music coming up soon. So
But I say you can't be tired of listening to J.S.T.E.W.
yeah,
I mess with that.
yeah, yeah. But some people, they like to put lowercase, some people they like to put in all caps, but me, I put mine in dots because that's my artist name and it's simple. And you can't really find no other artist name like that at all. That's like the only one. So yeah.
That's you then.
Yep.
Man, this is the last episode for this season.
Oh snap!
Isn't
I
that
didn't even
crazy?
know.
Yeah, I'm about to say you got the.
I feel honored. No cap.
I'm glad. This is the first time on the podcast that I've done it as more of an interview,
Yeah.
and I'm happy with where this goes because I'm glad because now for season 2 I can start branching out
Yeah.
and like doing things like this. So,
Nah, that's great. Like, I honestly like feel honored about it because I feel like a lot of people should get to know me by listening to this. because, you know, I mean, that's who I am. You know, I gotta tell a story. You know,
Mm.
I can't really tell a story in front of people, but you know, I can do it through my music and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
or just being interviewed, or being on a podcast, or
Just talking. You know?
just talking, just life in general.
And
you
people can take things away from you. Like there are things that you've said in here that I'm like, no, you right. Like when you were going off about To Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah, no. Like I feel what you're saying. I'm picking that up.
yeah.
So I'm bugging myself out. I'm sorry. I know y'all can't hear this, but like my thing is popping in and out.
It's all good.
But no, it's just it's nice, and I'm honored
Yeah.
that I could have you as the last guest for the season.
Hey, that's what's up.
And then Torcy, you've been about to say
Also
Torcy's been here for every single episode.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
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 Even
I'm your quote unquote audio
you
manager.
are
Of
the
course
quote
I've been
unquote.
on.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. No, that's crazy, dude.
Man.
I guess.
I mean,
Yep.
Shoot, I didn't even shout out myself yet. But before we get, well, no, we can just go into the post podcast. Thank y'all for listening. If you like this, subscribe. I don't know, share with your friends, do something.
Yep.
You can also follow us on. Well, yeah, because we're on YouTube. We're primarily on YouTube right now.
Right.
Season 1 might be on Spotify. I'm debating it.
Yeah. I think it should be on Spotify.
That's something I really want to do.
That's crazy how like I've done an interview with Gabby, Cesar, and then now y'all three. And I feel like a lot more people would just now like tune in right now. You know, like, okay, like I guess this is a guy I should be watching out for. So, you know. Man, it was just that was really enjoyable, honestly.
It's just nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the room, y'all can't see the room. We got video for season 2. That's the big thing for season 2.
Yeah.
But like just being in this room, it feels so natural to talk, you know?
Right.
Yeah. It
It's
feels
just
comfortable.
right.
Well, thank you for being here. I feel like I've
No
said
problem.
that, but yeah, thank you, man.
No problem.
For you listeners out there,
Anytime.
y'all can follow us on Twitter at JULCONVERSATION. That's Jewel Conversation on Twitter for the 28-second the pre podcast, along with links to the other pre and post podcasts from the season. I don't know how to end this for this. Wow. I don't know. Shoot. Well, guys, thanks for listening to this season. I'll see y'all later, I guess. Word.